Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. Before we get going, I humbly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel and dinging that bell icon for notifications. This is the channel's primary series, but we do other things as well in both the sports and the entertainment world. We're so glad you're here. Thank you very much. If you're interested in a full thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, feel free to take a look at the first 3 or so minutes of our initial video of the 1966 season. That video is linked on its own in the description below. Right beneath that is a link to a playlist of all completed imperialism videos to date. Otherwise, we're ready to start. We've arrived at the 1995 season, a season of massive change in the NFL. Before we touch on that though, we must acknowledge the Dallas Cowboys' victory in Super Bowl 30. Not only did they join the 49ers as the only teams with 5 Super Bowl championships, but they were the first team to ever win 3 Super Bowls in a 4-year span. But now back to that massive change. For the previous 11 seasons, only one change was made to the map when the St. Louis Cardinals moved to Arizona. This season alone, we have 4 changes to the map. Well, technically 3. First, we have 2 expansion teams, the Carolina Panthers, taking their place in the state of North Carolina, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have now split the state of Florida 3 ways, with the Jaguars taking the north, the Bucs in the central, and the Dolphins staying south. The Los Angeles Rams became the St. Louis Rams, splitting the state of Missouri with the Chiefs. And the Los Angeles Raiders once again became the Oakland Raiders. But as far as the map goes, they stayed in the same spot as they did when they left Oakland in the first place. A little spoiler alert, this map will stay in place for exactly 1 season. Alright, back to it. As stated, the Dallas Cowboys won Super Bowl 30, and they did so against a familiar opponent, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This was the 3rd matchup between these 2 teams in the big game. To date, the only 3-time matchup in Super Bowl history. After losing out the first 2 times, the Cowboys got this one. And they did so as the number 1 ranked team. For the 4th straight season, the top 2 consists of Dallas and San Francisco. Pittsburgh missed out on the top 5 as the Chiefs are the only AFC team in the top 5. The expansion Jaguars land at 2nd in the bottom 5, with the putrid New York Jets leading those rankings. The expansion Panthers dodged this list as they went the more veteran route and had the greatest expansion season in NFL history at 7-9. It's time to get it on. Let's play NFL Imperialism. After an expansion, our first spin of a 30-team NFL wheel gives us the Battle of Ohio. The Cleveland Browns will take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns have been trying to keep up with the Bengals, but that passing game has been a bit too much for them. 21-17 late in the game. Jeff Blake is going to look for Carl Pickens in the end zone. He'll make the catch, score the touchdown. That will extend the Bengal lead to 28-17. All comeback attempts by the Browns were thwarted, and the Bengals will win this game with that final score. It only seems appropriate that the Browns would be the first team to be eliminated from 1995 imperialism. Let's go ahead and fix the map real quick. The Bengals will take over their territory. They own the entire state of Ohio. The Browns weren't bad in 1995 until owner Art Modell announced that the team would be moving to Baltimore the following season. From that point, they pretty much fell apart and lost most of the rest of their games. 1 down, 29 teams to go. This wheel will land on the Buffalo Bills. Arrow's going to take them to the southwest into the territory of the Philadelphia Eagles. These were 2 playoff teams, and they were both Final 8 teams. Let's see how this game goes. We're tied at 7 in the second quarter, but this is where the Bills started putting their stamp on the game. Play action to Thurman Thomas. The pass gets dumped to him for a touchdown. Later in the quarter, this touchdown pass goes to Bill Brooks. The Bills put together a 14-point second quarter and take a 21-7 lead into the half. The Eagles are trying to respond. They've got a 3rd and 1 deep in Buffalo territory. Ricky Watters will get the first down, get around everybody else, and wind up scoring the touchdown. Ricky Watters, a free agent acquisition by the Eagles. He will also score a 2-point conversion. This game is 21-15. We're down to 1:15 to go. Bill 39-yard line. Rodney Peete facing the pressure, gets the pass off to Calvin Williams. He'll take it inside the 20-yard line. Under a minute to go. It's now 3rd and 7. Rodney Peete again facing some pressure, has to dump off a wide receiver screen, goes incomplete. 25 seconds ago, of course, the Eagles are going to be going for it. They only need about the 5-yard line for a first down. Here comes Phil Hansen. He will get Rodney Peete down. The pressure finally gets to him. Buffalo holds on to win 21-15. The Eagles put up a fight, but their O-line was not able to contain Buffalo's D-line for most of the game. The Bills will take over the Eagles' territory, and they're looking to extend their run during the 1990s. This next spin of the wheel is going to give us a treat. It's going to land on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to head to the Northeast, so for the first time ever in Imperialism, the Jaguars will take the field. They'll have to do so in Atlanta against the Falcons. Here come the Jaguars on their first ever drive in the first quarter. Mark Brunell is going to try to force this pass in. It's intercepted by Kevin Ross. Returns it to about the 40. A couple of plays later, Jeff George is going to find Terrence Mathis for the touchdown. It didn't take long for the Jaguars to fall behind in this game. 7-0. They never really had their way in it. They got a couple of scores in the second half, but the Falcons win it 41-14. A little ironic here, the Carolina Panthers' first ever game was against the Atlanta Falcons, and here in Imperialism, the Jaguars' first game was against the Falcons as well. Atlanta will take over Jacksonville's territory, and they own the panhandle of Florida along with Georgia. We'll be getting our first game in St. Louis for at least a few seasons. The first ever for the Rams in St. Louis. They welcome the Chicago Bears. It's weird to ever think of the Bears as having an explosive passing attack, but that's kind of what they had in '95. Jeff Graham here gets a couple of steps on his defender. Eric Kramer will find him for the easy touchdown, putting the Bears over the 30-point mark in this game. 33-14, that's the fourth quarter score. That will also be our final score. It didn't work out so well for the Rams in their first game in St. Louis. The Bears will take over their territory, owning now the eastern portion of Missouri. We're going to be guaranteed a game here as the wheel's going to land on the surrounded Buccaneers. Which direction will they go? Northwest. That'll send them to Atlanta, putting the Falcons on the field for the second time this season. The Falcons have been scoring touchdowns. The Buccaneers have been scoring field goals. 14-6 in the third. Here comes another touchdown. Eric Metcalf out of the slot makes the catch, shimmies his way into the end zone to extend the Falcon lead to 21-6. There was a little bit more scoring left to do by the end of it. 31-14 is the final score. Atlanta wins. Atlanta was the first team on the field twice. They are now the first team to win twice. They will take over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers territory and now own the majority of Florida. With 5 teams now eliminated, we're getting a very close call on the wheel. This will just hit the Giants. Arrow's going to take them east. That's actually going to run into Long Island. So we're going to get the game here, the New York Giants at the Buffalo Bills. The Giants were keeping it close. It's 14-7 in the third quarter, but the Bills are looking to score here. Jim Kelly's going to find Bill Brooks. That's been quite the combination so far in 1995. The Bills will extend out to a 21-7 lead. Their defense takes care of it the rest of the way, while the offense tacked a couple on. Buffalo wins this game 35-7. The Bills now join the Falcons as teams that have won multiple games this season in Imperialism. They will take over the New York Giants territory, and they will continue on in the game. The Wheel's going to be giving us another guaranteed game. The Lions are surrounded. They're chosen by the Wheel. They'll head southwest, and that's going to hit the area of the Indianapolis Colts. The Lions, a top 5 team, will play Indianapolis. A high-scoring back-and-forth first half. The Lions lead 21-14 with time ticking away. Scott Mitchell's going to look downfield for Johnny Morton, makes an amazing catch, gets into the end zone for the touchdown. The Lions extend to 28-14. The back-and-forth ended there. The Lions score 42 points in the second and third quarters and win this game 49-21. The Lions' offense was the reason they were a top 5 team in 1995, and that offense came to play in this one. 49 points on the board. They take over the Indianapolis Colts territory, and the Lions might be ready for another Imperialism run. We talked about the Lions possibly making a run. Well, they're right back on the field. The Green Bay Packers are going to give them a visit. This is going to be a top 5 matchup. The Packers will be looking to strike first as the first quarter winds down. This play action from Brett Favre, they're going to dump it off to Edgar Bennett. He's going to cut all the way back inside, hurdle a tackle, and make it all the way in for the touchdown. What a great individual play by Bennett. The Packers do strike first. They take a 7-0 lead. They hold the Lions to a field goal. It's now 7-3, and they're driving again. They've taken it down to the Lion 11 in the face of pressure. Favre gets it off to Robert Brooks, makes a diving reception for the touchdown. They tack on one more field goal. It's 17-3 now in the third quarter. Here come the Lions from the 2-yard line. Scott Mitchell throws into double coverage, but Brett Perriman will come away with the reception. That is the Lions' first touchdown of the game, and they're feeling themselves. They're going to be going for 2 here. Mitchell out of the shotgun will find Johnny Morton. So it's 17-11. The Packers backed up at their own 16-yard line. Edgar Bennett goes up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles. He takes off. The Lions catch him, and Willie Clay will force this fumble. The Lions recover, and they are in striking range immediately. Speaking of immediately, the first play after the recovery. Handoff goes to Barry Sanders, spinning around, a vintage Barry Sanders run. Gets away from the tackler there at the end. And because of that previous 2-point conversion, the Lions have taken an 18-17 lead. Green Bay needs to get the momentum back. From their own 48, they're going to try Bennett again. He is going to break a tackle again. He's trying to get away, and he does. Trying to make up for that fumble. Gets it down to the 25-yard line. It is now 3rd and 5 from about the 20-yard line. They're going to try Dorsey Levens on the run. Can't pick it up. Leads to a field goal. The Lions now trail 20-18. Patiently moving the ball down the field. No more patience on this one. They go deep to Herman Moore. He's able to take it inside the 5-yard line. It's now 2nd and goal after a loss on first down. Scott Mitchell is going to look for tight end David Sloan, and Sloan makes a diving reception for the touchdown. The second such diving touchdown catch in this game. 25-20 now, Green Bay trails. 3rd and 3. They're going to drop back to pass. Brett Favre, he's going to look for Dorsey Levens. He'll make the catch, and he's going to pick up some nice yardage after. Down to the 16. They quickly fall behind, though, to 3rd and 15 from the 22. Favre doesn't need it all on this play, but he's going to try Mark Ingram. The defense stops it. So here we go. 4th down, minute 24 to go. Favre, he's going to look for Edgar Bennett. He catches it, but he's well short of the first down. He can't get away. The Lions run down the clock, and they come away with the 25-20 victory. While the Lions didn't quite explode on offense as they did in their previous game, they did quite enough. Their defense stepped up as well. The Packers' invasion was unsuccessful. The Lions will take over their territory. We're now down a top 5 team, and the Lions are here. The wheels landed on the Miami Dolphins. That will send them into Atlanta to face the Falcons. The Falcons' offense has absolutely erupted in this game. They already lead 21-0. They're pouring it on. Jeff George throws it deep to Terrence Mathis. Gets inside the 10-yard line. They take him down at the 5. That will eventually lead to this short touchdown run by Craig Hayward. Atlanta leads 28-0 at the 2-minute mark in the first half. By the time Miami's offense got going, it was well too late. Paced by 487 passing yards, the Falcons win this game 35-21. Those passing yards came from quarterback Jeff George. Over 200 went to Terrence Mathis. Over 150 went to Eric Metcalf. The Falcons will take over the Dolphins' territory, and they have systematically taken over the entire state of Florida. Our next game will give us 10 eliminations. The wheel will land on the Chiefs. They're going to head to the east. That will take them into the territory of the Chicago Bears. That game is next. It's been a defensive battle. We're tied at 3 with a minute to go in the half. From the 10-yard line, Steve Bono is going to look for Lake Dawson, makes the catch right in front of the end zone, takes it in the rest of the way. That is the game's first touchdown. That will make it 10-3. There's still a little time left in the first half, though. The Bears right behind midfield, 27 seconds on the clock. Eric Kramer fires deep to Curtis Conway, makes a great diving catch, but with limited time on the clock, the Bears will come out and kick the field goal. That'll make it 10-6. The Bears will hope that gave them some momentum. But here they are, they're punting. Tamarick Vanover, returning for the Chiefs, gets beaten up by 3 guys and he fumbles. The ball is picked up by Jeff Graham. The star receiver will score on special teams. The first Bears touchdown of the game. They'll take a 13-10 lead. They now have the ball again on the Chief 36-yard line. Kramer, he's going to look again for Curtis Conway. This pass is perfect as he has a step on the corner. The Bears now will extend their lead to 20-10. The Chiefs will be looking to respond from their own 47. It's 4th and 7. Play action. This is going to be a short wide receiver screen, but Lake Dawson is able to pick up the first down. This is going to be the Lake Dawson drive. He makes that catch down the field. A very big play there. And then Dawson, of course, will score the touchdown. His second of the game. The Chiefs have lowered the deficit to 20-17. Well, they have the momentum now. It all depends on whether they can recover this onside kick. It is down. The ball's bouncing around, but the Bears will land on it, run out the clock, and take this victory 20-17. We get yet another repeat winner as the Bears take their second game, and the Chiefs, a top 5 team, have been eliminated. The Bears will take over their territory, and we're down to 20 teams. After the Bears took one of Imperialism's weirdest expansions, we now have a game. The Buffalo Bills will travel to face the New York Jets. It takes something rather special to be the lowest ranked team in a season where there were 2 expansion teams. The Jets did just that, and we can see how that happened. They score very, very late to avoid the shutout. The Bills win this game 52-8. 11 games into this season, we get yet another repeat winner. After the Bengals won the opening game, 4 teams have shared the next 10 victories. The Bills will take over the rest of the state of New Jersey, and they're moving on. We get back to the wheel here, and after they've expanded quite a bit, the Patriots are called up again. This time, though, they're running in the land, specifically the land of the Buffalo Bills. They're back on the field against yet another division rival. Buffalo's driven it down to the Patriot 15-yard line, still in the first quarter here. Jim Kelly is going to look for receiver Russell Copeland on the out route. He gets the touchdown. That will put Buffalo in the lead at 7-0. With an exchange of field goals, we now have a 10-6 score. New England has the ball on Buffalo's 35-yard line. Drew Bledsoe will get some pressure in his face, but he gets it off to Vincent Brisby, who runs it in the rest of the way. And just underneath the 2-minute warning, the Patriots take a 13-10 lead. That is the halftime score. We now enter the second half. Buffalo looking to make some noise. This is a reverse to Russell Copeland. He's getting around the end, beats some tacklers, got a little lag on the video here, unfortunately, but he gets it to about the 8-yard line. It's now 2nd and goal. The Bills are passing. Kelly's going to look for Lonnie Johnson. Not a good pass, and it's intercepted by linebacker Chris Slade, ending the Bills' threat. The Patriots looking to take advantage on this drive. They've entered Buffalo territory. Drew Bledsoe looking downfield for Will Moore. He makes the catch. Doesn't have that much speed, though. The Bills get him down at around a 2-yard line. That will lead to yet another touchdown pass from Drew Bledsoe to Vincent Brisby. The Bills are facing some trouble now. They have fallen behind 20-10, but you can't count them out, especially at home. It's now the fourth quarter. On the New England 39, play action. Kelly looks deep to Bill Brooks. He'll make the catch. He will take it to about the 3-yard line. But Buffalo has now dropped down to 4th down. They're going to go for it. Play action. The pass to Brooks just gets there. Touchdown, Buffalo. They could have kicked the field goal, but they decided to go for the 7, and they got it. The Patriots now holding a 3-point lead. 3rd and 8 in Buffalo territory. They're going to look to pick up at least a first down here. The dump-off pass goes to Curtis Martin. He's unable to pick up the first, though. Matt Barr will come out to kick this field goal to make it a 6-point game. The Bills will now need to score a touchdown. They have driven the ball quickly to the 30, but it's 3rd down. Jim Kelly tries to step up in the pocket, but he meets up with Chris Slade, and it's now 4th down. Can the Bills get to about the 19-yard line? Kelly will throw it to Bill Brooks, and he's taken down at right about the 19. It's a first down. Next play, in motion. Play action to Thurman Thomas. They're going to throw it to Thurman Thomas. He's going to split the defenders and get in for the touchdown. The Bills complete the comeback, and because they're savages, at a 23-23 game, they went for 2 and got it. Couldn't tell you why they would do that, but they did, and they win the game 25-23. The Bills are storming their way through this Imperialism. This is already their 4th win, but it was the tightest battle. They will take over the New England Patriots territory. They now remain as the only team from their division and are easily the power right now in the Northeast. We're finally getting some new blood in this season's Imperialism. The Cowboys, the reigning champions and our #1 team, travel to Houston to face the Oilers. The Oilers have methodically moved the ball down the field. They face 3rd and 5. The handoff goes to Rodney Thomas. He converts it, and he gets a lot more. Touchdown Oilers. They converted 4 third downs on that drive. They've jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Dallas now has the ball at their own 46-yard line. It's 2nd and 3. The pitch will go to Emmitt Smith. He does not quite get the first down, but in worse news, he's been knocked out of the game. He will be replaced in the backfield by Sherman Williams. That does downgrade the running game, but the Cowboys are able to survive this drive, take it down to the 8-yard line. Jay Novacek will get this touchdown, keeping the Cowboys in the game. They're tied up at 7 apiece. That's going to be our score as we head to the second quarter. Dallas has once again driven it down. Troy Aikman this time will find Michael Irvin for the touchdown. That will give the Cowboys a 14-7 lead. They are withstanding the loss of Emmitt Smith to this point. This is going to be our halftime score. We now head over to the third quarter. The Oilers have been methodically moving it down again, but now Chris Chandler is going to take a shot to Frank Wycheck. What a play by the both of them. Wycheck gets the touchdown. That will tie things up at 14 apiece. Dallas now moving the ball. It's the fourth quarter. 3rd and 18. This pass will go to Corey Fleming in for the injured Kevin Williams. Doesn't get the first down. The Cowboys are going to trust their defense. They're going to punt this away from the 35. This could be a fake. It's not. John Jett boots it, and it's going to be a touchback for the Oilers. They have once again converted many third downs, moving the ball slowly to the Cowboy 44. Chandler will once again look for Frank Wycheck, and they connect on a nice big play. That's going to be 30 yards. They're in field goal range, but they're smelling the end zone. 2nd and 10. Chandler will drop back, throws a teardrop to Haywood Jeffries, who makes the catch. Unbelievable. The Oilers have taken a 21-14 lead. Now, he mentioned Kevin Williams is out. Sherman Williams is going to return this kickoff. Let's see if he can contribute something to the cause here. He does, but he does it for the Oilers. He fumbles. Houston recovers, and we have a massive upset here. The Oilers hold home field, shock the champions, win this game 21-14. Football is decided on a field, not a committee room. Yes, I'm talking to you, the CFP. Because of that, the Oilers had their chance. They took it. They eliminate the Cowboys, the reigning champions, the #1 team in the rankings, are out. The Oilers have the state of Texas, and we have to look at this imperialism at this point as being completely wide open. It really should come as no surprise. This wheel has once again selected the Buffalo Bills, and this will be a game they're going to have to travel to Washington to face the Redskins. At the 7, Buffalo leads 7-0. We're in the second quarter. Jim Kelly's going to look for Mr. Reliable here. Bill Brooks is having an amazing imperialism off the back of his 11 real-life touchdowns scored in 1995. This was all the Bills need and then some. They win this game in a shutout, 28-0. 5 up, 5 down. The Bills continue their run. They take over the Washington Redskins territory, and only the Steelers now remain in the Northeast. We're now getting our first game on the West Coast. The once again Oakland Raiders travel to San Diego to face the Chargers. Touchdowns were a little tricky to come by in this game. It was quite the field goal fest. The Chargers got it started off. The Raiders almost had that kick blocked. Makes it 3-3. Kicker Jeff Jager comes out for another field goal. That'll make it 6-3. Jager comes up again. That makes it 9-3, and they're going to call on him one more time for a chip shot. That made it 12-3, and that will be our final score. Nobody in this game could get into the end zone. But the Raiders probably couldn't care less about that. They got the win. They take over the Chargers' territory, and we've now eliminated half of the 30 teams. After getting some expansion done, we're getting the Detroit Lions back on the field. They're visiting Minnesota to play the Vikings. A back-and-forth game leaves us with a Detroit 14-7 lead in the second quarter. Warren Moon tries a quarterback sneak, but Mike Johnson jars the ball loose. It's picked up by Ryan McNeil. He's able to break a couple of tackles, picks up some blocks from behind, and he is gone. No one's even in the picture. A long fumble return, touchdown for the Lions, gives them a 21-7 lead. The Vikings pull back a field goal before halftime. We're now in the second half. It's 21-10. From the Detroit 30, Warren Moon, quick pass to Chris Carter over the outstretched defender. Carter gets it inside the 10-yard line. That will lead to this touchdown pass from Warren Moon to Jake Reed. The Vikings could have capitulated here, but they strike back to make it 21-17. It's now 24-17. The Lions are moving the ball. We're in the fourth quarter. Scott Mitchell will drop back to pass. A slant pattern perfectly placed to Brett Perryman. That will make it 31-17. But the Vikings have some offense. They're not afraid to use it. They've driven the ball down to the 23-yard line. It's 3rd and 2. They're going to pitch it out to Qadri Ismail. He tiptoes the sidelines and he takes it in all the way for the touchdown. With 1:50 remaining, the lead for Detroit is now 7. Minnesota's going to have to rely on the onside kick. Fuad Revez lays it down. The ball is loose and the Vikings fall on it, but things go sideways very quickly. It's 4th and 18. Here comes the pressure. Moon gets off the pass. Carter will make the catch, but he will be short of the first down. The Lions run out the clock. They hold on for the 31-24 victory. All throughout the 95 season, the Lions never lacked for offense. They continue that trend in imperialism. They take over the substantial area of the Minnesota Vikings, and they probably, most likely here, have the largest piece of land in the nation. As we continue on in 1995's imperialism, the Oilers are up. The arrow's going to give us this photo finish where they're just going to miss the panhandle of Oklahoma. That goes into the territory of the Cardinals. Oilers at Cardinals is next. In the third quarter, the Cardinals lead 7-3 after a Garrison Hurst touchdown run in the first half. Dave Craig will drop back the pass, finds fullback Larry Centers, taking it into the end zone, extending the Cardinal lead to 14-3. If the Oilers offense wants to wake up, now would be the time to do so. They're backed up at their own 35 on 3rd and 10. Chris Chandler is going to look deep for Chris Sanders, and he will make the catch. That was an incredible play. Now from the 30, it worked for Sanders once, it may work again, and he'll make another spectacular catch, and the Oilers have gotten themselves back into this game. They cut the deficit to 14-10. They force a quick 3 and out and get the ball right back. It's 3rd and 13. Chandler holding it, looks deep. Haywood Jeffries will go up and make the catch, evade the defender, take it in all the way for the touchdown. Then as the third quarter expires, the Oilers have not only come to life, but they've taken a 17-14 lead. The Cardinals on this kickoff, Ray Terry receives it at the 25, making some moves, gets past midfield. They've got a hold of him, but he hasn't been taken down yet. And he escapes, and this turns into a great return down to the 25-yard line. Now on offense, Terry is in for the injured Garrison Hurst, and he'll make this catch for the touchdown. The Cardinals have taken the lead back, 21-17. Can the Oilers keep the offensive momentum going? They're at their own 35-yard line. 2:06 to go. Chandler, he's going to look for Chris Sanders, and he'll make the catch. Another great play for him. That was 31 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 29. The pitch goes to Rodney Thomas. Picks up a bunch of blocks. If he has any kind of speed, he can score here, but he gets it down to about the 6 or 7 yard line. 1st and goal. It is from the 7. The Cardinals back up the secondary. The Oilers make a change at the line. This is going to be a pitch to Todd McNair. He is going to straddle the sideline and get in for the touchdown. Yet another lead change. With 51 seconds to go, the Oilers lead 24-21. The Cardinals, though, quickly race down to the 40. 8 seconds to go. Too long for a field goal. They're going to try something. Craig here. It's a bad pass to Rob Moore. Falls incomplete. The Oilers make the comeback, win this game 24-21. The Oilers, of course, earlier on picked up a huge win, a huge upset against the Cowboys. They might be showing that that wasn't really a fluke. They go into Arizona, take over the Cardinals' territory, and extend their land all the way up through Utah. The 49ers are getting into the game for the first time. They're going to hop across the bay and play the Oakland Raiders. The 49ers are in complete control of this game, leading 24-7 in the third quarter. William Floyd will take the handoff around left end, breaks a couple of tackles, he gets it down to about the 2-yard line. He's still fighting, he breaks free. Nothing was going to stop him from getting into the end zone on that one. The Niners extend their lead to 31-7. The Raiders couldn't do anything else with it. They took the lead in this game, but then they couldn't hold on. 31-7 is the final. With this victory, only one team remains standing in the state of California. The 49ers will take over the Raiders' territory, and along with the Detroit Lions are the only top 5 teams remaining. We're getting our first ever appearance in Imperialism of the Carolina Panthers. As we mentioned, they had a great expansion season, but going on the road to face the defending AFC champion Pittsburgh Steelers is a tall task. Can they pull the upsets? The Steelers use the ground and pound to get to the 5-yard line. This handoff goes to John L. Williams. He'll break the plane of the goal line, score the touchdown, giving the Steelers a 7-0 lead. The Panthers were a good defensive team in '95, not so much offensive though. Until the fourth quarter before they can score, the Steelers secure a 22-6 victory. The Panthers gave it a run, but the Steelers were too strong for them. Pittsburgh will take over their territory, expanding their land and ending the dream of an expansion champion. The Wheel's going to have a fun matchup in store for us this time. The Bengals are chosen. They're going to head to Detroit. Two teams known for their offense, not so much for their defense. This one could be a shootout. The Bengals will look to get on the scoreboard first. Play action. Jeff Blake will fire deep to Carl Pickens. He'll go untouched into the end zone. Cincinnati will jump straight out to a 7-0 lead. Detroit will now take its turn. They've driven it down to the Bengal 10. It's 3rd and 6. Scott Mitchell, he's going to look for tight end David Sloan. He'll make the catch and score the touchdown. So the teams have exchanged touchdowns. We're tied up at 7 apiece. Will Cincinnati have the same response? We're still in the first quarter. From the Lion 29, Blake, he's looking to the end zone. Fires to Darnay Scott and places that ball where only Scott can make the catch over 2 defenders. The Bengals extend to 14-7. We're now in the second quarter. The Lions have driven the ball down to the Bengal 21. Scott Mitchell fires across the middle to Herman Moore. He does the rest, and the back and forth continues. We're tied up at 14. The Bengals will take a field goal before the half ends and now have the ball in the third quarter, leading 17-14. Jeff Blake will drop back. He holds it. He wants to go deep. Lets it go at the last second. Carl Pickens will run under it and score the touchdown. This Bengal team, especially the passing attack, has zero fear. They lead 24-14. The Lions will need to respond. They've got it down to the Bengal 12. Scott Mitchell takes a look at Johnny Morton, who will make the catch over the defender. So the Lions are trying to keep pace here. They cut it to 24-21, but the Bengals will have the ball, and they haven't been stopped yet. 2nd and goal from the 4. They're actually running the ball. Harold Green is going to get his way in. The first rushing touchdown of this game. The Bengals, of course, threw the ball to get down there. 31-21. It's Detroit's turn in this little call and response game. 3rd and 9 from the Bengal 44. Mitchell is going to look for Aubrey Matthews. In for the injured Brett Perryman. Takes it down to the 14-yard line. They are now at 1st and goal at the 1. Barry Sanders will take it in for the touchdown. Here now, the Lions defense finally makes a stop. In fact, the 3 and out, so trailing 31-28, they've got it back from the 28 of Cincinnati. This pitch to Barry Sanders around the end. He's going to pick up some great yardage here down to the 7-yard line. So here we go, 1st and goal. Scott Mitchell looks for Herman Moore. It's knocked away. 2nd and goal. Mitchell will sneak and pick up a few yards there. 3rd and goal. Mitchell finds an open Aubrey Matthews. He drops it. So on 4th down, the Lions will eschew the field goal and will go for it. They can tie this up, but they want to take the lead. 4 receivers set. The Bengals call it audible. Mitchell's going to try to run it. He's immediately stood up. The Lions will turn it over. The Bengals run it out, and they win this Heartstopper, 31-28. The Lions were looking like they could do some damage this season in Imperialism. Now the Bengals look like that team. They go into Detroit, they win, they take over their territory, and at 7-9, could the Bengals be the first ever team with a losing record to capture Imperialism? We're inching closer and closer to the end of Imperialism. The Broncos will be chosen to go to the Northwest. That's going to slip into the territory of the Cincinnati Bengals. They're right back on the field. And they're going right to work. Here in the first quarter, they've driven down to the 23-yard line. I wonder what they're doing. Blake goes deep to Carl Pickens, extends out to make the catch, scores the touchdown. 7-0 Cincinnati. We now move on to the third quarter. It's 10-3. The Bengals have the ball again. They're at Denver's 30-yard line. Jeff Blake, play action. He's going to go once again to Carl Pickens. You think Denver wants to get some guy on him. It is now 17-13 Cincinnati. Now, just like their last game, they're allowing their opponent some breathing room. The Broncos have a 2nd and 12. Fullback Aaron Craver escapes from everybody's sight, makes the catch, is able to pick up a lot of yards after the fact, taking it down to the 15-yard line. It is now 3rd and 9 from the 14. John Elway in the shotgun, calls an audible, gets under center. He's going to do a quarterback sneak. They've got a hold of him, but he's able to break away and run it in for the touchdown. Elway's not as fast as he used to be, but he's equally tough. It is 17-10. The Broncos defense will get them the ball right back from just behind the 50-yard line. Elway looks for Anthony Miller. He uses his speed to pick up a bunch of extra yards there inside the 20, but it's now 4th and 11. They're going to be going for it here. Elway looks in the middle of the field. Shannon Sharp will get the first down and more. He gets away, scores the touchdown. The Broncos will convert this extra point. They have tied the game at 17. The Bengals, though, have gotten all the way down to the 7-yard line. 2:01 to go. Jeff Blake, he's going to try to dump it off to Jeff Cothran. Incomplete. Will they kick? They will not. On a 4th and very short, they're going to decide to go for this. This is a gutsy play call here. The Broncos break through the line and take Jeff Cothran down on the 4th down attempt. Now the Broncos have taken it to the 41. In the face of pressure, the line picks it up. The pass to Mike Pritchard's incomplete. 2nd and 10. It's a little too long for a field goal here. Elway's going to try to step up in the pocket, but the Bengals grab him, take him down. That's going to take this game into overtime, tied at 17. The Broncos are going to win the coin toss. Glenn Milburn takes it at the 20-yard line. He gets popped by Darrell Williams. That was a massive hit. The ball's loose and the Bengals have it. They can kick it here, but it looks like they're trying for more. From the 25, Delayed route by Carl Pickens. He catches at the 15 and will score his third touchdown of the game. That is the backbreaker, the clincher for the Bengals. They will win this game in overtime, 23-17. We can't say the Bengals aren't providing for some thrilling action here. They win this game, they take over the Broncos' territory, and as long as this passing game can keep it up, they're a threat to beat anybody. We're getting the New Orleans Saints on the field for the first time. They'll be traveling to face off with their NFC West division rival, the Atlanta Falcons. The Saints have been taking care of business here, leading 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Play action up the middle. Jim Everett's going to find Quinn early. He's got to step on a defender. He's able to evade everybody on his way into the end zone. The Saints extend out to a 28-7 lead. Atlanta get a touchdown back. It's 28-14. So in response to that, the Saints take it right down to the 25. Play action again. The pass to early again is a touchdown. So the Saints maintain their 3-touchdown lead at 35-14. But nobody told Atlanta this game was over. This deep touchdown pass is going to go to Burt Emanuel, and the Falcons get the ball again, throw it deep to Emanuel. So the Falcons wake up a little late. It's 13 seconds to go in the game, but they have cut it down to 35-28. They will try the onside kick. If they get this, they've proven they can strike quickly. The ball is down, but the Saints will recover it, and at the end they survive. A 35-point fourth quarter from both teams. The Saints win 35-28. The Falcons had been showing something during this imperialism, but the Saints go into their stadium and take the win. They will take over the Falcons' territory, and now every team on this map, of the 8 remaining, they've all won a game except for the Seahawks, who have yet to move from their spot in the Pacific Northwest. Just about the entire south of the United States is now on the line. The Oilers will go on and play the Saints. A real defensive struggle here. We're tied at 3 in the fourth quarter. The Oilers from their own 20. Chris Chandler is going to scramble. No, he stops and throws. Haywood Jeffries is going to make the catch, and maybe this is what getting the Oilers offense going here. It's 3rd and 8 now, just inside midfield. Chandler holds it. The rush comes. He gets rid of it. Haywood Jeffries goes up and gets it, makes the move, and will score the touchdown. No longer in his prime, Haywood Jeffries is still delivering for these Oilers. It's 10-3. Can the Saints respond here? They've taken it down to their own 46-yard line. Lots of motion. The Oilers bring defense forward. The Saints call an audible. It's a play action. They're sending Quinn early deep. Oh, and a better throw would definitely have been a touchdown, but Early's able to take it to the 13-yard line. He finally goes down. The Saints face 3rd down from that 13-yard line. Motion. Everett, play action. The pass is going to go to Early in the back of the end zone, and he drops it. Oh my goodness, he's done so much, but he dropped it there. 4th down. The pressure comes, the Saints pick it up. The pass to Wesley Walls is incomplete, and the touchdown by Jeffries was all the Oilers needed. The defense stepped up huge. They win this game 10-3. 10 points generally is not enough to win a game in the NFL, but the Oilers, they were able to do so in this one. They will take over the Saints' territory, and except for that tiny southern portion of California, the Oilers own the entire South. We spin this wheel to see that it will land on the Chicago Bears. They're going to head to the southeast. That's still going to hit the territory of the Houston Oilers. So after picking up a big win, Houston's getting right back on the field. The Bears enter the fourth quarter trailing 10-5. But here from the Oiler 10-yard line, Eric Kramer finds Jeff Graham for the touchdown. A couple minutes later, he will do so again. The Bears score those 2 quick touchdowns to take a 19-10 lead. They're going to actually score one more before this is done. They use an explosive 21-point fourth quarter to win this game 26-10. The Oilers' defense had been dominant, giving up 6 points over the course of 7 quarters until that fourth quarter explosion by the Bears. Chicago will take over Houston's massive territory, and with our 6 remaining teams, all of them having won Imperialism in the past, we are guaranteed a repeat winner. The Seahawks have finally joined the game. They will go into San Francisco in this battle for the West Coast. We're locked in a scoreless tie late in the first half, but the Seahawks are threatening. Rick Mirer is going to look for rookie receiver Joey Galloway. He will go up and make the catch to break the gridlock. The Seahawks have gone into San Francisco and lead 7-0, but there's still time left in the first half. The Niners have taken it down to the 35-yard line. Steve Young will find Jerry Rice. He will pick up about 20 yards more after the catch. The Niners have to settle for the field goal. It's 7-3 now. We're in the second half. The Seahawks have it. Rick Mirer scrambles out of the pocket, throws deep to Brian Blades, intercepted by Eric Davis. Blades stopped while Mirer thought he was still going, hence the overthrow. The 49ers will take over and drive it down to the 12-yard line. It's 3rd and 3. Steve Young, he's going to look to the end zone. Ricky Irvins, the running back, was covered. Another field goal. 7-6, the Seahawks are punting. The Niners break through the line and get the block. And more than that, Marquez Pope will recover it and run it back in for the touchdown. The Niners have not broken into the end zone in this game yet, but they do here. So they lead 13-7. Seattle now, 3:27 to go in the game. It's 3rd and 6. The pitch will go to Chris Warren. Makes an incredible move, picking up 20 yards and getting the first down. Can the Seahawks take the lead here? 3rd and 11 from the 18. Mirer throws for Galloway, incomplete. Too long to go for it, I guess. They're going to settle for the field goal here. Todd Peterson lines it up, but misses. Oh my goodness, the Niners kill a lot of clock. Seattle's down to the last play. 4 seconds to go. They need to go 63 yards. They're going to be looking deep for Brian Blades. He'll make the catch, but Eric Davis jars the ball loose. His second huge play of the game. The Niners will recover this as time expires, and despite not scoring an offensive touchdown, get the come-from-behind victory over Seattle, 13-7. The Niners had a similar game to this in last season's Imperialism over the Packers, and they were able to carry that to a title. Can they do the same here? They will take over the Seahawks territory. They are the kings of the West Coast, and we're down to 5 teams. Many intriguing matchup possibilities remain. We're going to get the Bears, and they're going to head north. So the 2 behemoths of the central part of the country will take the field. Cincinnati to host Chicago. And this has been all Chicago. They already lead 21-3 late in the third quarter. Play action fake. Eric Kramer is going to scramble a little. He will squeeze it into Curtis Conway in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. The Bears take a big 28-3 lead. By the time the Bengals got going, it was way too late. They make the final score look a little closer. The Bears win this one 28-17. We mentioned the 95 Bears had what they would definitely consider an explosive passing attack. They were also a good team till a late season run caused them to miss the playoffs. They're making their noise at Imperialism though. They will take over the Cincinnati Bengals territory. And it's not just that the Bears have the largest piece of land, it's that they own well more than 50% of the entire United States. We're down to the final 4. The wheel will land on the Steelers just barely. And speaking of just barely, this photo finish on the arrow shows us they will hit the Chicago Bears territory. So whoever wins this game between the Bears and the Steelers will have to win the next two in order to be Imperialism champions. The Steelers have driven to the edge of the goal line in the first quarter. This handoff up the middle to John L. Williams, an easy walk-in touchdown. The Steelers have gone into Chicago and jumped ahead 7-0. The Bears respond with a field goal, and they have the ball trailing 7-3, 2nd and 2 from the 3-yard line. Handoff goes to Rashaan Salaam. He breaks the plane and gets the touchdown. The Bears take a 10-7 lead. They'll take that lead into the second half. The Steelers are punting in the third quarter. The Bears break through the line. They get the block. The ball's flailing around. Jim Flanagan picks it up. It is now 3rd and goal, though. The Bears haven't done anything with it yet. Eric Kramer on the perfect pass on a perfect pattern run by Jeff Graham. That will extend the lead to 17-7. The Steelers pull back a field goal, but the Bears are looking to extend again. It's 17-10 in the fourth quarter. This pass goes deep to Jeff Graham, makes the catch. He keeps on running. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Chicago. All of a sudden, they have a 2-score lead. It's 24-10. Pittsburgh took a while to get started, but they finally started moving it here. It's 3rd and 10, 2:20 to go. Neil O'Donnell throwing the slant to Ernie Mills. He dives and it's incomplete. So now it's 4th down. This is going to be the game for the Steelers. Here comes the pressure. O'Donnell gets it off. Yancey Thigpen, the diving catch. That'll keep this drive alive. From just inside the 1, Eric Pegram will finish it off. So the Steelers, they have some life here. It is 24-16, and they have designs of going for 2 here. And that's exactly what they're going to do. If they can get this and score again, they'll get the win. Lining up here at the 2-yard line. O'Donnell takes the snap, hands it to John L. Williams, and he gets in. Onside kick coming. It's 24-18. They lay it down. The ball's bouncing around, but it's recovered by the Bears. The Steelers do not see the ball again. Chicago wins 24-18. As we said, the way the map is set up, the winner of this game is going to have to win 2 more. The Bears take over the Steelers' territory. It's impossible for the 49ers and Bills to meet in the next game. So one of them will be in the title game. Will it be against Chicago? And the wheel goes and will land on the Bills. They will head to the southwest. That will hit the Bears' territory. So the 49ers, for a record-setting 8th time and for the 7th time in 12 seasons, will play in the Imperialism Championship game. The Bills haven't played for a while, but they won 5 games early. They're back on the field. They're headed to Chicago. The winner will go also to the Imperialism title game. After a long kickoff return, the Bills set up shop at the 20-yard line. Thurman Thomas takes the handoff around the left end, making some moves, spins around, and gets in for the touchdown. So for the second straight game, the Bears fall right behind 7-0. Do they have a plan to get out of this one? As it turns out, they're going to be down 14-0. They're driving. They're at Buffalo's 17. The handoff goes to Rashaan Salaam. He's going to try to break into the end zone, but can't quite do it. A couple of plays later, though, he'll get the handoff around the end and score. So the Bears are putting themselves back into this game. They trail by a score of 14-7. But there's still time left in the half. The Bills have gotten into Chicago territory. From the 46-yard line, Jim Kelly swings it out to Thurman Thomas. He's going to pick up a bunch of yards after the catch. He goes down, leading to a field goal, 17-7 at the half. The Bills punting here in the third quarter. It gets blocked. Linebacker Vincent Smith is going to scoop it up, break some tackles, and go in for the touchdown. But the Bills quickly respond on a pass to Thurman Thomas. So the touchdown exchange leaves it at a 10-point game, 24-14. Now in the fourth quarter, the Bears facing second down inside the 10-yard line. The play action pass goes to Jeff Graham. He just knows how to find the hole in the zone, makes the catch for the touchdown. At 24-21, Chicago's stuck having to try this onside kick. Kevin Butler lays it down, but the Bills recover. They wind up actually turning that into a touchdown, maintaining that 10-point lead all the way through, winning this game 31-21. And how about this for an Imperialism title game? Between 1988 and 1994, 7 consecutive seasons, either the San Francisco 49ers or the Buffalo Bills made it to the Super Bowl. Yet in that stretch of time, they never once faced each other. That streak ended in 1995, but here in Imperialism, that's going to be our title game. Let's spin this wheel and find out where it's going to be. And that spin will be landing on the 49ers. They're going to be heading to Buffalo. The Niners are going to try to tie the Vikings for the most Imperialism titles with 4 and become only the 3rd team to win them back-to-back. The Bills are in the title game for the 3rd time in 4 years trying to get their 2nd title. Let's get on the field and see who wins 1995 Imperialism. On their opening drive, the 49ers have taken it down to the 42-yard line. Steve Young looks downfield for who else? This is for Jerry Rice. He'll make a diving catch, takes it down to the 2-yard line. That makes it 1st and goal. On 2nd and goal, William Floyd plunges in for the touchdown, giving the Niners a quick 7-0 lead. Buffalo's showing its ability to respond though, and Derek Holmes is going to take this next kickoff at the 25-yard line, break a tackle, put on some moves, and he's going to take this deep into 49er territory where he fumbles. Marquez Pope jars it loose. The 49ers recover, picking up a few yards down the sideline, continuing to break tackles, going down the sideline, still breaking another tackle. Unbelievable the way this play has turned out. Gary Plummer scoops up the fumble after the long kickoff return and runs it all the way back for the Niners. It is now 14-0. Buffalo maybe feeling desperate already as the first quarter is about to wind down. Play action, Jim Kelly throws short to Bill Brooks. He's able to get some moves on, gets it to the 9-yard line. Switching directions now, 2nd quarter. This handoff here is going to be going to Thurman Thomas. Cuts in, and gets in. Buffalo got the response they needed. It is now 14-7. Now this game started getting defensive. We take this score into the 3rd quarter. 14-7 still. Niners, Steve Young looks for John Taylor, who makes a ridiculous catch, spins away as he makes it, picks up some big yards. Very next play from the Buffalo 35. Young looked left, now he looks right to Jerry Rice. Rice picks up some yards, gets it down inside the 15. Very next play. First he went left, then he went right. This time Steve Young's going to go up the seam. A perfect pass to tight end Brent Jones. The Niners reassert their control over this game. It is 21-7. Buffalo needs to get back into this. The Niners bring the defense up. The Bills call an audible. This is going to be a run. No, it's a play action. That will leave Russell Copeland open. Maybe a better pass becomes a touchdown, but the Bills get it down inside the 20-yard line. It is now 3rd and 7. 2:09 to go in the quarter. Play action again. This pass to Justin Armour goes out of bounds. The Bills are forced to settle for the field goal. From 34 yards away, Steve Christie puts it up and in, cutting the lead to 21-10. Buffalo now have the ball in the 4th quarter. Niners 30-yard line. Jim Kelly throws it to Justin Armour, picks up the 1st down, but Gary Plummer, who scored the touchdown earlier, forces this fumble. The Bills never could get back into this. The 49ers take the game, take the championship, 21-10. And here, representative of that championship, is the 49er logo for the 2nd straight season, sitting right in the center of the United States map. The Vikings in 69 and 70, the Redskins in 71 and 72, It had been 23 seasons, but now in 94 and 95, we have a repeat Imperialism champion. The 1995 NFL season corresponds with the release of Tecmo Super Bowl III for the Super Nintendo, which of course is the game we use for these Imperialism simulations. The rosters for this Imperialism aren't exactly the same as the game's original release, but they were pretty darn close. While the Cowboys and Steelers are tough teams in the game, they didn't hit the same heights here as they did in the real 95 season. Instead, a perennial Super Bowl matchup in previous Tecmo Bowl games came to light as the San Francisco 49ers met with and took down the Buffalo Bills. And as mentioned earlier, the 49ers tied the Vikings for the most Imperialism championships with 4 total. And it was a second consecutive title. The 49ers roster was mostly similar to 1994. On offense, they replaced Ricky Watters with Derek LaVille, and Rod Milstead replaced an injured Derek Deese on the offensive line. But they still had their galaxy of stars everywhere else, including, of course, Jerry Rice. The starting defense remained exactly the same, except for Marquez Pope, a former safety, replacing Deion Sanders at corner. While clearly a downgrade, Pope had his moments in this Imperialism. All in all, this Niner team contained 10 Pro Bowlers in 95, had the league's #1 defense, and led the league in scoring. The first half of games in 1995 had some close calls to go along with some blowouts. One blowout had the Jaguars making their debut, while one close game saw the monumental upset of the Dallas Cowboys by the Houston Oilers, perhaps marking their last stand in that city. The second half of games saw some close, exciting contests with 8 one-score games and others that could have been but for late scoring. These games saw the end of some crazy runs by the Bengals, Oilers, and Bears before the 49ers won it all in the end. 20 teams went one and done, including the expansion Panthers and the aforementioned Jaguars. 5 teams won 3 games, including the 49ers, who topped these standings by virtue of their championship game win. The Bears surprisingly won 5 games, while the Bills tried for 7, but could only get to 6. The overall standings don't look drastically different, with the Vikings staying on top due to Dallas's lackluster performance during this dynastic period. With their appearances in their respective conference championship games the next season, it wouldn't be surprising to see the Panthers and Jaguars escape their current 0-win status. Thank you so much for tuning in to 1995 Imperialism. We'll be back with 1996, a season that once again brought some big change to the NFL. If you would please consider liking and sharing this video and subscribing to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Many thanks. Before we depart, we take one last look at the 49er States of America, the 4th such instance of 49er dominion. They will return next season, attempting to win an unprecedented 3rd consecutive title. I hope you will be returning as well. Thank you again so very much, and I hope you have an awesome day.